afternoon, Lagos. Good afternoon, everyone from wherever you're listening to us from. My name is Omolola, and I'm glad to have you join us for the first episode of Limitless Monday. Limitless Monday is a published book, and it will help you in the building of good relationship among professionals. It will help you fine-tune your work habits, and you will earn the corner seat in your office. It will show you artisanal entrepreneurs can build a lasting business, and to tell you how to continually make your clients and customers return for more. So all these nuggets about this book, they're all in the book Limitless Monday. So before I do all the talking, let me introduce the person behind the book. I'm just the forerunner. Allow me to introduce you to Mrs. Omolola Gbenle. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, Faye.
It's nice to have you here with us, ma.
Thank you.
We'll dive in quickly to what Mrs. Omolola has for us today. So out of your wells of knowledge and wisdom, what do you have for us today, ma?
Today I am here to talk about passion. It is actually an excerpt from the book. So if you want to know more about it, you should get it. Passion, it's not enough when it comes to business. Though passion is the driving force that gives you energy to bring your dream from your subconscious to a state of reality. And I must add that this gives maximum satisfaction. Taking stances like when we had a great idea, we can liken to having a passion for something, because when we act on those ideas, we operate on a high level of performance, such that when obstacles come in, we have enough strength to fight through. That's what having passion is all about. It gives the energy to run through any dream that we have.
Wow, having strength to run through any dream that we have, that is something to listen to and read about. I've heard of instances that people start businesses, but because of something of passion, they end up shutting down their businesses. So was it that there was not enough passion, or something was lacking? I would like to know more about this.
There are many instances of what will happen. What passion does is that passion is just like a starting point. Something drives you into wanting to do something. So because passion might help you to start a business, but it can't always help you to run the business. It's just the energy that starts. There are several factors that could have led to the shutdown of the business. For example, in running a business, you need to pay your staff, make profits, reach a targeted audience, have healthy competitors, and many others. So if you decide to start a business because you feel passionate about it only, be ready to burn out fast. I have worked for more than 5 years in business, and there are different reasons why riding on just passion cannot sustain a business.
Passion alone cannot sustain a business. That's something to hold on to. If passion alone can't sustain a business, ma, what are the other things that we should pay attention to? What should CEOs and intending CEOs pay attention to as they start their businesses?
Yeah, like we said, passion alone cannot run a business. In any business, it cannot be run by one person. It required a teamwork. Let's say you're just starting and you're the only one doing it. Nevertheless, even if you are the only one doing it, communication within and without is very important. Between you and your customer, communication must be smooth. You must be able to understand managers. Communication is essential between the business owner and the managers, between yourself and your customers, because you have to always get feedback to know what your customer needs. The production line is the lifeline of a business. So when it comes to organization, delegation, and material input, the act of processing up to the end of production must be followed to the letter. Law and order in organization must be upheld. So any misconduct in trying to reduce the quality or input into production can cause great harm by losing the target audience. So communicating with your staff, communicating with your supervisor, your superior, at the same time, those are subordinates, it's very important. Communication is a very important key that any business must adhere to. Then if we talk about communication, after communication, you must also know that the skill set in which you will use in running the business is important. Adequate and appropriate training of workers. We can't even overemphasize that, because you can't put a novice to handle and operating a machine. That could even be dangerous. If it's a manufacturing company, you can't put a novice who has no skill, nor education or knowledge to just go and handle a machine. So appropriate training of workers for professionals open the business up for great opportunities. There is no way you have a very skilled worker and that is handling it, skilled in the sense that even when it comes to customer service, he must be skilled enough to be able to know what to say to every customer that comes.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's even very important. So those are very important points that every business that wants to start must take note of. You have to be ready to train staff. You cannot cut costs in saying you don't want to train staff. It's more or less, I could remember when I was working in the fast food industry, and I could remember the contractor that was giving the job to the lady that actually formulated all their menu and recipes. She was the one handling the aspect of training. She had to train us before we start working even in the fast food. And she made mention of something that fast food business is a very sensitive business. Your customer will only give you 3 months. After 3 months of coming in and out of your fast food, and they cannot get, or your staff are not, they can't still find their BRO. So they just consider you don't know what you want to do. They will move on to the next fast food establishment. So training, they had to train us almost for about 3 or 4 weeks before we could even start operating the fast food. Even that's why we have the recipe, we have the machineries, we have all the gadgets, we have the building. It is important because you that you are producing A or B cannot afford to mess up. You can't afford to go and reduce meat from meat pie, or remove potato entirely from meat pie and say you have produced meat pie. So those are the things that I say. So an untrained worker, on the other hand, is an uninformed individual who sabotages efforts in the name of saving the day, but ends up bearing the organization. An untrained worker, who you put there and say you are cutting costs, will end up sabotaging all the effort, all the input, all the money that has been spent. So skill is very, very important. A skilled worker, a knowledgeable worker, an educated worker, a worker that can handle things with or without you is a plus for the organization.
Wow.
Then lastly, we had to talk about quality. Quality is the lifeline of a business. I can remember when I started my business, number one thing I put my foot forward first to do is quality. I felt if it's not a quality product, there's no point wasting my time. There's no point. Because the same effort you will put in driving a product that is of low quality, that's the same effort you use in driving a quality one.
Yes.
If you try to bake and you try to, because I also learned baking. You try to bake and you try to shortchange yourself by not putting all the necessary ingredients. I will see some buns, I will see some produce that came out of baking, and I just wonder, what's this person trying to do? We could only sell it to people once. Once they tasted it and it's not okay, they just get away. They just move on. So you can't, the same effort. And I wasn't ready to get an outlet then. I was using my car as my means of transporting my business. So I was just wondering, I said, imagine myself carrying a low quality product and still be running for it.
Wow.
Yes. It does not make any sense.
Yes.
So quality, it doesn't make any sense. So quality and authenticity of your product must never be compromised, even when the output is small. A substitute item for an item that gives good results and meets the needs of the people at a sustainable price is also okay. In my 25 years of doing business, I have learned to identify what gives customers satisfaction and what they are ready to pay for, and that is originality. The customer is ever eager to enjoy and get value for their purchase. They can travel miles only to discover that the same effort and energy will be expended in producing quality products. They can travel miles to come and look for you. I remember when I was living in a particular area, there's a woman that hawk bread. And at exactly a particular time, 7 o'clock in the morning, as if customers, those who want to buy her bread, already knew when she comes out. They're already standing by their gates. And as she's coming into the streets, they already know her, as if they even recognize her voice. And a lot of people have hawked bread before her, but they knew her time. They never came out, but they knew her own time and her voice. As soon as she's coming out, they already know.
Wow.
And they are, and she doesn't spend much time with any one of them. They already know what they want. They already know the bread. So they are just buying, and she's just going from one gate to another. And I will be looking from my window. I'll say, wow, what a strategy. This woman must be selling what they want, what they love.
Yes.
Because a lot of people will come after her. A lot of people had come before her, and then they will never come out. So quality draws people. It sustains your customer. It keeps them waiting for you. It keeps them throwing money at you because they know they are not wasting their money. You are not wasting their time, and it's going to nourish them. So it is a decision that businesses and services providers must make and carve their niche around what they want to be known for, either originality or being fake. Thank you.
Wow. You mentioned a lot of amazing points: education and effective trainings, profit, skill sets, quality and trust in products and services. This is a lot. Thank you for giving back to us. And thinking back now, I realized that this is the reason why I kept going back to a vendor, because she kept giving me quality things. That is something to have to learn from. Thank you so much, ma.
Thank you, important. They helped me when I started my business as well. And this is what I can always give out. And I'm ready to give out to people to also help them in their own businesses.
Thank you so much, man. That's the CEO herself. I've learned new things today about not running my business based on passion, and Mr. Omolola has given us our wisdom, and I hope we took notes. So for the moment, I'm sure there are other things that she could not mention in today's session because of time. Let's go to Amazon and buy the book Limitless Monday. You will do yourself a lot of good from getting this book, because these are wisdoms that cannot just be found anywhere. So that will be all for today. We hope you had a great time listening to us. It's a beautiful Friday, and yes, enjoy a limitless Monday. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.